What is going on, guys? Welcome to this very cold day in Vancouver. I am just heating up my car, but today's video is going to be about maintenance and a lot of misconceptions about German cars, specifically Audi, but this could also apply to BMW, Mercedes. How much maintenance is, how much is their like upkeep, and I feel like there's a lot of things that people get wrong. So this video is going to be talking about it once I warm up the car. And by the way, with Quattro and like some decent tires, these aren't even actually fully winter. They're Continental DW6s and they're rated for like 5 centimeters of snow. They're really good. So if you want a European car that can go in the snow, just get an Audi because they got the Quattro. So let's go over how much does maintenance on my car cost, because that's the most straightforward thing. So first of all, maintenance on this car is not bad at all whatsoever. I think a lot of new cars are like this, where you can buy this thing. It's called, for Audi, it's called Audi Care. I'm sure other companies have it. And basically, you pay like a certain amount. So for me, it's around $1,000, $1,100 Canadian. And your four services, so they're all 4 services that you get, so that's around 4 years, are all covered. You don't have to pay a single penny. And this is nice because some services can get expensive. So usually the way it works on Audis is you have one small and one major. So the small one's around like 250 bucks, and then the big one's around like 500 to like 700-ish. It depends on your dealership. But you can already see that after 3 services, you're already up money, and then by the 4th one, it's just all, you know, savings, right? So that's something that I feel like a lot of people don't know until they go into the dealership and then they buy Audi Care. So if you're gonna get a car, make sure you have Audi Care from Audi, or I'm not really sure what the Mercedes and the BMW one. And now the second point is general maintenance. So this is the thing that I think gets a lot of people, and a lot of people, even Audi owners, don't really know this. So one of the big things is wear and tear. Brakes. Brakes are something that a lot of people are afraid of, and they're really like, you know, when people buy a European car, they're like, oh, you know, I can't touch it. Everything has to be done at the dealership. Or if I don't do everything at the dealership, then the car is gonna get ruined, blah, 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 which is entirely not true at all. So what you have to realize is that dealerships are a business and they're trying to make money off of you. When they sell you a car, they make some amount of profit, which isn't a lot actually. So they try to sell you all these little things and, you know, little upgrades, little blah, blah, blah. And the big thing is their maintenance and their servicing. That's how they make a lot of their money. So I'll give you an example. When I went to get my Audi, my brakes done, I phoned Audi and I said, how much is it? Because it was just the pads. How much is it to get the whole car done, right? So the guy's like, oh, okay, give me a second. It goes on the phone. He calls some dude and the guy's like, $1,500. I'm like, why is it $1,500? And he's like, yeah, you know, well, when you do the brakes pads, we like to do the rotors too, and then we just do the whole car. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, damn, that's really expensive. So I said, okay, whatever, like, let's wait for a bit. And then I did some researching, and this applies to any car, by the way. So the big thing is, if you gotta get your pads done, you don't need to do your rotors. I actually have looked it up, and you could probably get 2 sets of brake pads. Like, you could have 2 sets of brake pads on in the lifespan of 1 set of rotors, right? And the biggest way is, the really easy way is to check for the lip. So if your rotors have a lip, you guys can Google it. Like, it's like a little bump on your rotor, then I'd say get it changed. But other than that, just keep your brake pads on. So this is what I mean. They go to the dealership says, hey, we'll do your brake pads. And then they do the rotors too, which they don't need to. And then you end up spending $1,500. I don't know how often people get their brake pads done. Maybe once every like 15 to 20,000 miles. I don't know, honestly, I'm not sure. It depends on your driving habits. If you're, you know, you live somewhere where there's a lot of hills, or so it really varies person to person. But let's say you do 2 brake jobs, that's almost $30,000 in like the let's say you have the car for 3 years, it's almost $3,000. So that's a lot of money. What you can do, there's lots of websites where you can just go and source the parts yourself. Now this is by far the easiest, and like every single person should do this. You know, there's like a million websites that will sell you brake parts for your car, and you just source them, and then you just find a shop locally that will just put your brakes on. And don't stress too much, hey, will this car break? Like, find a reputable shop that works on European cars, and I'm sure there's gonna be one around where you live, and they'll do it. It's not difficult. I'll talk about this in a second. I actually did my own brakes, and yeah, it's just super easy, super straightforward, and you'll save a lot of money. And I don't know what it is. People just like to take their car to the dealership and just let them do whatever they want. And of course, they're gonna overcharge you. It's very easy for them to be like, oh yeah, it costs this much, but like we need to charge you this much because your car is very luxurious, you know. It's it will, you know, if you do it like this, it'll ruin your car, which is wrong. And that's how they get used on their brakes. And actually, what's crazy is the more expensive the car gets, the more expensive the brakes get. So on my car, they are like stock brake, like I'll give you an example. So my brakes, just in parts alone, was $600, front and rear parts. So the Audi dealership, when I said before it was $1,500, they quoted me $1,500 just in parts. And then they charge you like 3 hours of labor. So anyways, you're looking around like a lot more. But mine was $600 front and rear for upgraded performance brakes. So they were drilled rotors with upgraded brake pads. The brake pads that come with the OEM one are really dusty. I don't like them. But they give you the upgrade. I got brake, and then I took it to a shop, and then they put it on for like 150 bucks, and that's it. Straightforward. Didn't have to worry about it. And then what I actually did is when I went to upgraded my brakes to 365 millimeters, and I wanted to get a big brake kit, yada yada yada. I took the brakes off myself, took the calipers off, and kind of did it all myself. So if you're a DIY kind of person, you can do that. I know a lot of people aren't, which is fair, but there's no reason why you shouldn't take your car, buy the parts yourself, and just take it to a shop to get the brakes done. Stuff like bigger things that like people are afraid of, I can understand taking it to a dealership, especially if you have warranty, then it's not a big deal. But like things like brakes, tires, I don't know how many people actually do their tires at the dealership. I hope you don't do your tires at the dealership. Just take it to like a tire shop around you, wherever you live, which is the best bet. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Buying an out of warranty car is tricky. So when you buy an out of warranty car, if something goes wrong, so let's say you have an RS7, it has a V8 twin turbo, they have been known to blow. Like the turbos will just die on you, which is of course bad. It's about like $10,000 to fix it, and if you're out of warranty, then that's gonna happen. So if you're Canadian and you're kind of out of luck, I would probably avoid buying twin turbo V8s out of warranty in Canada, because there's not many good third-party warranties here. Like, if someone knows any that is good, please tell me. But I could not find any ones that were like reasonable. In the States, from the US, then there's a lot. There's so many different, basically, third-party warranties that will like cover everything. So if you're from the States, you're unlucky. Rest of the world, I'm not sure. Sorry, I haven't looked too much into it. But at the end of the day, it's not bad. BMW, Audi, Mercedes, they're all very, very similar. They all have, their own. Obviously, I'm familiar with Audi, so they have Audi Care, and then Mercedes has like, I don't know, Mercedes Care. I don't know what they have, but I highly, highly recommend you buy these things when you get the car. They also have this other thing which is called, I don't know what it's called, but basically it's kind of expensive actually. I don't know if it's worth it or not, because when I bought my car, someone else had already bought it for this car, and basically it's called like a protection, I don't know what it is called exactly, but what it does is if there's like paint scratches, wheel curbing, up to $2,000 of cosmetic damage they'll fix. And I think up to $3,000. And I think the thing itself was like $1,500. So if you're someone who is prone to doing lots of cosmetic damages to your car, then maybe you should buy it. In general, I don't think it's worth the money, because they when you get cosmetic stuff done at a dealership, they overcharge you. It was kind of stupid. I did the car because it was free, but they charged me just to clear coat, to buff out the front bumper, and to clear coat it. They charged me like $1,800. I'm like, that's expensive. Obviously it was covered, but it's really expensive. So that's also another option. At the end of the day, it's not too expensive. Don't worry about maintenance and stuff. If you have an in-warranty car, like don't even think about it. Make sure you buy like the Audi care. Make sure you buy the servicing plan that comes with the car, and you're set. You will never have to worry about your car's maintenance as long as you own it, which is like, you know, 3 to 4 years. If you're owning it for 10 years, you're on your own. And that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope I cleared some misconceptions that people might have about maintenance and servicing about German cars. It's not that bad. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.